Hey guys, welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. In today's video, we are over on the new account. We have just ticked over into day 3 of play, so I want to give you guys my day 2 recap. Once you finish, and that's like 48 hours of play is when this novice tournament finishes. So we've completed that. We're going to go ahead and claim our rewards there. And the big thing that I want to talk about in this one is making your first 6-star, because it's something I often see. A lot of the other guys in Discord who do these pushes also get 6 stars on day 1. This was on day 2 that I got my Fallen to 6-star, and I want to talk about that because that is something that a lot of people see and they're like, how do you get a 6-star on your first or second day of play? And I want to go through the fine tuning and balance of how I actually manage that, because once again, if it's one of those ones where it's either some people who do it on day 1 forego some of the Arbiter missions. Otherwise, you can do it on day 1 while still really closely tracking the Arbiter missions if the clan shop has the energy in it, which it didn't this week. So unfortunately, the week we started, it means your day 1's going to be slower, because otherwise you have an extra 1,000 energy on day 1 if you optimize your clan quests and get that 1,000 points. So that's why it is day 2 for me on this one. But like I said, I want to go through the tips on it, give you guys an update on the account for day 2. And just, yeah, go around it. So the first thing is, you'll notice I'm pretty much dry on food. You'll also notice that I'm pretty dry on silver. Now, the reason I'm so dry on silver is I've upgraded a few pieces of gear that I got when I'm trying to like max out my base team sort of thing. But also I buy every single champion and shard that comes up in the shop. Even 1-star champions I buy, the mystery shards I buy, and every uncommon I buy. Because if you're trying to do this thing quickly, then that is what you have to do. I've seen some people recommend not buying anything in the shop. It just depends if you're trying to push fast or whether you're just trying to play, a bit more casually. So that is the first thing, buying every single champion. Now, I haven't been as active on this account for the first 2 days as I had on some of my other ones. I've had a busy time. My kids are on school holidays. I'm getting ready to go to China. So, I would have had more fodder if I was checking back on my timers every 15 minutes over there. But the other big thing that really helps you do it is, one, if you come over here and you look at my potions up the top, you can see I've got 3 void potions left, and that is it. No other brews. And the reason behind that is because I use all the brews to level up fodder. You want to avoid using brews to level up your main champions along the way. It might be really tempting to say, like, throw a couple brews into your champion, get them like 15, 20 levels so that they're farming faster, easier, earlier. But at the end of the day, those champions are going to level up through using them in gameplay. So trying to avoid that is a really nice thing so that you can save the brews for your fodder champions. Once again, that is because when you're using your main champions, they will just gradually level through using them in different ways. Like, you can look at my Tholen here, just through leveling more fodder, he's got himself to level 30. I don't want to waste brews on that. The other thing is that makes absolute massive difference is if we go over here into the campaign, you can see where you can't see because my head's in the way, but this is the brutal difficulty. And you can see we claimed this one here, which is 100 extra brews. That is so big for getting your early 6-star. These brews, like I said, they make a massive difference for leveling up all the fodder you have. If we go over here to hard mode, you get another 25. I don't even know if normal has them. Yep, normal has an extra 10, which isn't as crazy. But getting to brutal and pushing through to the 225 stars on brutal is a big thing for it. Now, if you want to go to 252, go ahead, go nuts. I just can't be bothered going back over those stages yet. I'll do that another time. Same with hard. You can see here, I could probably go ahead and clap the last few stars in hard mode, get myself that sacred. I'm not too stressed on it right now. I'm focusing on other things at the moment. But definitely pushing through all these, getting your 225 stars in all difficulties up until brutal is going to be the way that you can really get one of those 6 stars early. Now, I mentioned yesterday, if you can't do 12-3 brutal on farm, then where do you go ahead and do? I have not been doing 12-3. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be with Tholen Foulbeard to farm this stuff. Supreme Gallic with decent gear, you could actually do it at 5-star. I'm going to wait till I get my ascensions into my Tholen. There's just no way I'm doing 12-3, but 12-6 is going to be easier, so that might be the one that I farm with Tholen until he gets Giga geared, is what I'm planning on. But where have I actually been farming? So for me personally, with Tholen Foulbeard, I was farming over here in in the palace on stage 6 to get some speed boots. If we go over here, and once again, it's not as efficient on experience and silver, but it's getting me gear that I can use. If you look at my Tagoar over here, you can see my Tagoar is on some speed boots. You know, they're 5-star. I just maxed them straight out. They had a defense substat already, which gives him an extra 10% defense. Not too bad. 40 speed, really good. If you look at my Tagoar, you know, on day 2, having a plus 91 speed character is pretty decent in my opinion. So I'm really happy with where my Tagoar is at. So I farmed some of that to try and get some of those speed boots. Now, the other thing I have been farming and had absolutely, and I didn't get any other 5-star speed boots. I farmed that for a fair while. I did get a fair few. If I go to boots, primary stats, speed, and I go, yeah. So you can see here, I farmed it a fair bit. I sold everything that wasn't useful, but I got 2 more 4-star boots. And when you look at the difference between the 40 speed here and then these, the 4 stars being 35 speed, it's not honestly too much of a difference. It's a 5-speed difference, and it is much cheaper to upgrade the 4-star boots. So, you know, get the 4-star boots will be enough for me when I move forward. So that's kind of where I spent a bunch of energy. I did spend energy farming up all of the other champions that I will need for fusions. You can see over here that I've put every fusion champion or champion that I might use later on. Coffin Smasher, absolutely fantastic unit. I won't use him on this account, but he's just like a valuable 3-star, so I wanted to put him in this vault. But you can see I've racked up all the fusions. We got the Heiress. Obviously, I was farming for the speed gear, so we're going to get the Heiress copies. I finally got my bloody Spirit Host, and then I did a summon and got her on Mystery Shards after that, so I fought that one off. We got the Sorceress, or I can't remember what her name is. You see we got the War Maiden. We've basically got everything that is used for a fusion out of campaign. And they are sitting there. So I went through and farmed up all those. Valerie's a really annoying one. If you can get Valerie while doing the challenges, that's a great way to do it because it's really bad experience in that stage, in the stage 1. So that's what I did as well. Then I went over and basically all my energy was spent besides, once again, doing the Arbiter missions. You can see where we are. We're up to this one where I got to do Golem's Peak. The thing is with this one, getting 5 and 6 stars to do harder difficulties on Golem early game, you've got to do it on manual. Otherwise, you just get nuked by the boss because you hit him too hard. And it's a pain in the ass, honestly, with Tholen because he hits his basic attack is AoE, so you can't even cheese around it. So yeah, the Ice Golem's really annoying. I'm going to manual that to complete it. But up to here, that's what I've been grinding. Now, some people may say, Vulcan, why don't you go ahead and farm materials to get your ascensions for Tholen Failbeard? 2 reasons for that. One, obviously, I want him to be 6-star before I worry about that, so I can, you know, farm better when I go over there. The other thing is that I do not touch any of the potion dungeons or any dungeon at all until it's a mission. So you can see we've got coming up over here, Wind, Greater Arcane. You know, we got all the potion dungeons coming up here. So that is when I will start looking to doing these, and I'm going to push these as high a level as I can because even though we're looking for greater, if I happen to start landing more superior potions, then obviously I'm going to use those. So the great thing is with him as well is that Force is kind of like the easiest one. So hopefully I can push further once I get to this mission, and that's where I'm hopefully going to get him to at least level 3 of Ascension, because 3 is the big one when you unlock the extra passive. The stats are really nice as well, but that is what I'm waiting for. I don't want to waste energy on anything until it's a must-do for Arbiter missions. So my next point of call is going to be these missions, getting these, but once again, I had to find the time to go ahead and manual them before I do that. So that is that one. Moving on past that, like I said, in the campaign, I ended up farming a bunch of this one over here on stage 4. So I was trying to get myself some crit rate gloves over here for the gloves. Unfortunately, I didn't get any. The reason I am looking to do that is because if we go over here to Tholen and we go to Filter, Fitting Room, I really wanted to get some crit gloves on the lifesteal. You can see over here, boom, boom, boom. I farmed up a bunch. I hit a crit. Those were my base crit damage gloves. I think I hit another crit damage. Yeah, I hit crit damage, but no crit rate yet, unfortunately, on the 5-star gloves or even 4 stars. That's where I really want to get, because ideally I can get those. And then I crafted 2 decent pieces over here, which was this one here with 16%. Jeez, my head's in the way. Holy shit. Always in the way. So these are pretty decent because we got the 16% crit damage and 9 speed. And then I also got some speed boots with some crit rate on them, which isn't too bad either. So I could slap those 2 pieces on him. And then if I had the crit rate gloves from the lifesteal, you know, then we're looking at a much better set for him. And even at the moment, we're on crit set, but it's on an attack piece with some speed. So, you know, our builds are very, very scuffed at the moment. And that's why I'm trying to sort of fine tune what's going on over here with my builds. And that's why I am that's what I am farming with. Now, you can see over here, my Tagoar's looking all right. He's got these 2 HP pieces, which are good enough for me. This one's got no speed, unfortunately. It's just grey gloves. But this one has 12 speed, which is really damn nice at this stage of the game. So I'm pretty happy with those. I didn't feel the need to go ahead and farm more Swift sets because these were both on the HP sets. You can see we crafted a 5 and a 4 star here, which got 9 speed and 9 speed. So they just go together, give him some extra HP and defense, and make him pretty much all right. So those are the only 2 units I really care about at the moment. After that, we do get Deacon Armstrong in about 4 levels, 4 and a bit levels. So that's probably 2 days away that we get Deacon Armstrong, and then I can use some more of that perception gear because I did actually get another amazing perception piece. If I show you guys here, dude, takes so long to get there even now. I need to sell some more stuff, but I did get these ones. If I move my head again, not those ones. Wait, where is it? Nope. Where was it? There was a damn good piece somewhere. No, it was the headpiece. Yeah, I got these bad boys. 3 rolls into speed. Got an 18 speed roll already. So my Deacon's ready. Maybe I end up using these speed boots on Deacon instead. And then, you know, we're pretty cooking for speed on Deacon. But we do have a bunch of shields that rolled some speed. That crit damage one. We've got this one over here with some HP as well. Maybe that goes on Deacon, but we are looking pretty decent in terms of being set up for when Deacon does drop on our account. And then basically at that point, it's going to become Tholin, Tagoar, and Deacon. Then the next one that I'll put gear on and worry about gearing is probably going to be the Mausoleum Mage, followed by old mate over here, Lightsworn. And that's going to be the order of gearing. Madam Serris is just in here with some scrap gear. You can see I plus 16 these just so I could speed tune her to be faster than my Tholin Foulbeard over in Arena. That's kind of like the plan there, just to make Arena fights a little bit better. Arena has been a bit of a struggle on this one. If we go over here into Arena, let's refresh. Let's see how we're going. A lot of these teams with Tholin Foulbeard, it's like if you go first and don't kill him, he revenges because when you do his mastery build, he has the revenge build, and then you get absolutely tapped. And a lot of these are more powerful than me. So let's jump into this guy and take a look at this one. We're probably going to get clapped here, but just for argument's sake, let's take a look. Now I pulled her. I was using the Spirit Host. She's got the extra 6 speed over Spirit Host, so I'm chucking her in there just for the speed lead, literally it, until we get the Deacon Armstrong. And we'll see how this goes. It does sacrifice some attack. Sometimes I would rather just have the attack lead and let them go first so that I can revenge. But I'll show you the awkward thing about him, about the Tholin Foulbeard in this one. So let's see. We should probably outspeed here. Yeah, we do. I'm going to use my Tagoar speed buff just so we guarantee outspeed with everyone. Oh, dude, we didn't outspeed, and now we don't get our attack buff. Rip. Maybe we just go ahead and do this. Will he do too much? You know what? Screw it. Let's just do this. There's his revenge, and there's his double tap on the back. Like I said, obviously I'm a bit slow, so that the fact that we got broken by the Ugo cost us there. But often in games when I completely outspeed, it still turns around and he does a revenge and then kills us. So honestly, this has been the hardest arena push. Even though Supreme Gallic, like we didn't have the whatchamacallit, Madam Serris and stuff like that. I think it's also because this is the worst gear I've had for my DPS on day 2 of an account pretty much ever. You can see this one, you know, rolled all accuracy instead of crit rate. This one, you know, crit rate, attack speed, pretty nice piece. This is the best I've got over here. This is an attack piece. This is an attack percent chest, but no good subs. And these are just speed boots with a bit of crit rate. Like, I know it may sound like you may be like, what, this is bad gear, but this is honestly horrible gear compared to where I've been. I have not been able to get any decent crit rate gloves, even 4 stars. So we're kind of like in that weird period of being absolutely gimped with our DPS, whereas all my other accounts were better. So, you know, Arena's a little bit of a struggle. Hopefully once I push these Arbiter missions a little bit further, you know, maybe get to the point where I get up to these missions over here. Maybe I can start getting enough of the greater force potions, or maybe get some superior force potions to be able to ascend that Stolen Fail beard. Because often when you do get to those third ascension, it does become a really nice boost, both in stats plus the passive. Getting that extra attack of his basic every 5 turns is going to be really, really nice. But that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, that is the way I go about getting, you know, fast 6 stars on a new account. Once again, always check on a new account if you're starting. Always check the clan shop, because if the clan shop does have energy in it, it basically gives you an extra 1,000 energy at the very start. And once again, it's a bit of a silver burn, but once again, you just need the fodder, because you can look at my vaults here. You can see I just keep 1 copy of everything, but like I got no 1 or 2 stars in there. I got no 1 or 2 stars in there, and we're pretty much empty on fodder already. So very important to be buying those things if you are trying to rush. If you're more casual, don't stress about it as much. But anyway, that is an update for day 2 of the account. Once again, we've just ticked over into day 3, so the tournament is over. Wait, you know what? Who cares? We're over here. Let's pop this. Here we go. Who cares? Oh, look at that. Look at that. We got a food champion. Okay, we got a food. Attacks one enemy 2 times, fully heals this champion. If the target is killed by this attack, places a stun debuff for 2 turns. If the target survives, I mean, 2-turn stun might be nice for faction wars. Attacks 2 times at random, places a 30% reflect damage buff on all allies for 3 turns. Attacks one enemy, 20% chance of increasing the cooldown of one of the target skills by 1 turn at random. I mean, not crazy, but hey, is what it is. Dude, that's honestly not too bad. I should go ahead and get that 1 sacred and pop that for shits and gigs. Maybe we'll do that in tomorrow's video, because we have got how long left? Yeah, we've got a day and 4 hours left of this, so maybe tomorrow we pop a sacred and see how we go. But anyway, guys, that is it for day 2 update. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.